Alright, fellas, I'll be going over the trade that I took and my thought process for the rest of this week, tomorrow, and next week, and what's to come. So, the trade that I took, I'll actually go over the trade that I hesitated on, which I regret, but I'm still slowly building my confidence. But I did end up taking a trade today, which was in PM session, which I'll also go over. So, this morning, this is really whipsaw and pretty bad price action, but if you go into a smaller time frame, I was watching this 3 minute fair value gap that got created right here. And it was after we had this accumulation phase, as you guys can see. So we have accumulation down here, we have manipulation, and then after we get the manipulation, we have distribution, but we also have more accumulation after we get the fake Judas swing. So that's kind of another sign where you can say, you guys can see obvious highs get taken as well. So liquidity sweep and Judas swing as market opened. And now if you go into a smaller time frame, and before that 3 minute fair value gap was even created, we have this 5 minute break of structure. And this is why I wish I would have taken the trade, but I got sucked into the 1 minute time frame, which tricked me a little bit. But I'm working on that still as well. So we had this order block here, which got tapped into on this candle right here. Didn't actually get to the body, as you guys can see, came up, tapped into the wick, and ended up selling off. And one more time back into that 3 minute fair value gap, and then sold off, taking out liquidity. We had liquidity here at this low hanging fruit, and then we just missed these equal lows down here. But the trade that I took was a 3 minute setup as well that I was eyeing, and this was right before 1:30. I normally don't trade PM session, but I wanted to look for something just because I was home. So we had this breaker block, or excuse me, order block up here. You could have either used this bottom of this or this one, but we had this inverted fair value gap as well as this order block on the 5 minute right here, which we were respecting. Very nice, as you guys can see. Oops, I did not even do that. So if you take the fib from the high to low, you guys can see that we don't even get a candle body close over the 50%. That's exactly what you want to see if you are looking for bearish prices. And so we go back to the 3 minute for that inverted fair value gap with that 5 minute order block. And now if you go into the 1 minute time frame as well, because this is what I like to look for in my entries, you guys can see right here, if I take two of these lines, let me make these black, there's a volume imbalance right here. And look at these wicks. This is where I entered. I entered at 15,504 because I used the bottom of this order block, 1 minute order block, as my entry. I wasn't sure if we were going to get the tap back into the inverted fair value gap, but I wanted to just get in. I had my stop above here at 15,512, and you guys can see it came up a little bit, almost took me out, but it didn't, and ended up selling right here at this swing low. Obvious liquidity, got hit and ended up selling off, as you guys can see, a lot further, but I'm completely okay with this. I got my points. I got 17.5 points on that. So now I want to go over what I'm looking for Friday and the rest of this week or next week. So we came down and now we're engaged into a weekly PD array. As you guys can see, weekly order block right here, and we have this. Look at the candle body respecting the top half of this order block, and that's where we ended up bouncing today. And if you go to a daily time frame, you guys can see that it came down, took out this low, and we immediately went back into the range. So I'm expecting at least this top of this candle to get hit, especially since we now just interacted with a higher time frame PD array, specifically a weekly order block, which is very very important. So I'm expecting maybe a run up into this high and maybe tap into this volume imbalance and then continue lower, but we'll see. We did just have tech earnings, Apple and Amazon today, so that also might affect the market. But I'm not worried about any of that. I'm just here to read price action. So just remember, higher time frame PD array, weekly order block engaged. We now just bounced from this daily fair value gap as well. And you could also use this order block if it even hit it. Did it hit this? Yeah, it did. So you guys can see it hit the body of this candle as well. And now I'm looking for this high to get purged because we immediately came down, took out this low, and went back into the range. And that's how I form my buys for the day and what liquidity hit what. As you guys can see, big displacement up and then back down, so pretty just unknown right now, but I am biased at the upside just because of what the daily time frame is looking at. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys took something from this, and I'll see you guys in my next one.